Hello viewers and welcome to African Beyond Television Network, and we are looking at something very, very important. It seems as if the MPs in Zimbabwe have been bribed by the regime to vote for the 2030 agenda. This is something which is very, very important, and we are starting by looking at what Caston Mateu said. He said MPs spend the whole night debating and going through the national budget. They finished this morning at 5:22 a.m. They are already back again this afternoon and will probably finish very late going through the proposed finance bill. You will not see this news anyway. And it's very, very important for us to note that first and foremost, the news must be coming directly from Parliament. Parliament of Zimbabwe must do like what Parliament of South Africa does. They always provide the streams for their debates for everything which happens in that parliament. But back to business, back to our story. The MPs in Zimbabwe have been bribed by MTHULI, and it's very, very important to note. This is the headline from the Newsday. MTHULI cornered and is pampered MPs, or cornered MTHULI pampers MPs. And there is 120 million US dollars for parliament staff. There is 250 million ZIG for MPs, additional cars. There is 378 million CDF and arrears. There is also 72 million for MPs fuel. And there is a ZIG 50 million for domestic and foreign allowances. And there's also 50 million office and tools of trade. There is an issue of residential stands for MPs. So if you look at it, you can actually see that this is indeed a bribe. They are trying by all means possible to not to mess up with the MPs, lest they lose the 2030 agenda. So it seems as if they've well-oiled those who agree and who subscribe to the 2030 agenda, and it's going on without any fail and you know, without any disturbances. It's very, very important to note that ZANU-PF leaders, they don't have any other thing to do except bribing the MPs. And these MPs do not have an option because vakambotora ma 40,000 avaiti ndedzimba ndokubva vatora motikari latest dzakauya ike zvino vakutora dzimwe futi. So you can actually see that it has become a norm kuti ma-MP anenge akatogara achiverenga kuti motikari dzauya ngani dzaita sei. They will be traveling vachienda vachinodya ma-allowances, vachienda vachinodya mari. That is the norm right here. But while they are doing that, the ordinary Zimbabweans are suffering. The ordinary Zimbabweans don't have anything to point to. And if you go to the rural areas where the majority of ZANU-PF MPs hail from, there is chaos everywhere. Things are not well with various families and different families. The major question will be, to what end does Emerson and these people do this? So they do not care about you, they do not care about me, they do not care about us. They care about their own existence, they care about their own survival. Mfekane says we need live parliament coverage to see if the submission and many hours spent debating has substance. This is something which is very important. So the MPs, while they are getting pampered, no one knows if these MPs are having proper meaningful debates. And it's a very, very huge problem which we have in Zimbabwe. It's unlike in South Africa, you can actually follow and hold them accountable. Douglas Shumba says, it should not be news, Honorable. You raised your hands up and said, we want to do this. How and why should it be news? What is news is asking for another vehicle from the taxpayers for doing your job. The job you already were given for a vehicle for. So if you look at the ordinary worker, the general worker of the government of the Republic of Zimbabwe, they remain neglected and they remain with nothing. They are actually crying, they are actually failing to make ends meet. Yet the MPs, they are enjoying everything is being given to the MPs at no additional cost. So it's very, very interesting, but this is what is happening. We will continue to watch and see how everything is going to end, but kumberu kuchachemwa zvako. Shay Mama says, do your job, Caston, stop worrying about photo opportunities. So this is what is happening in Zimbabwe. Whilst the villagers are dying of poverty, we are seeing the MPs being pampered. Tino Mshale says, I think it's fair to say that MPs have a reason to be working hard on making sure that the national budget passes, as their loans and cars cannot be availed until it is. Besides which, the idea that the fact that the people are doing the job for which they were hired should never be newsworthy. Okay, so it's very, very important to note that in Zimbabwe, this is what is happening. The MPs, they are so happy. Second, cars are coming. They won. Trying by all means possible to secure those cars by hook or crook, and they won. So we'll wait to see how they're going to do about it. But this is a very, very scary issue. The issue of 2030 is a very, very scary issue, and it needs caution. But it seems as if Team MNANGAGWA, they are eager to pursue and to have it done.